Welcome to Inorganic Chemistry class, chapter D and F block elements. Dear students, in the last class, after the completion of F block elements, that is after the completion of actinides and lanthanides, I continued with stability of higher oxidation states of transition elements. There you have studied about the halides and oxides, and also I discussed about the preparation properties and uses of potassium dichromate. So here these topics were not included last year, but this year there is no reduction in the syllabus. You have to study the entire syllabus. So that is why. So those deleted topics of the last year. So I started in the last class, and I'm going to continue with the structure of a chromate and dichromate ion. Let's start. Here, so there are two structures. One is the chromate ion, other is the dichromate ion. Okay, so here, one is the chromate ion, that is CrO4 2 minus. Other is the dichromate ion, that is Cr2O7 2 minus. Here we are going to find the structural difference between these two ions. One is the chromate ion, other is the dichromate ion. Here in case of the chromate ion, here you can see chromium atom undergoes sp3 hybridization bonded to 4 oxygen atoms, and this chromate ion has tetrahedral structure. Here you can see just like the methane, so 4 hydrogen atoms have been bound to single carbon atom. Here also the same thing. So one the chromium atom, it is found to be attached by 4 oxygen atoms, and here 2 of the oxygen atoms are bearing negative charges on them. That means having extra electron on them. So here chromium atom, it undergoes sp3 hybridization and it has got the tetrahedral structure. But in case of dichromate ion, here there are 2 chromium atoms, that is why the name dichromate. Here each chromium atom, it is surrounded by 4 oxygen atom. Here also each chromium atom, it has got the tetrahedral structure. Here also you can see the chromium atom, this chromium atom, it is also surrounded by 4 oxygen atom. Here each chromium atom undergoes sp3 hybridization and it consists of 2 tetrahedral sharing one corner oxygen atom. Here you can see these 2 chromium atoms, they are sharing this corner oxygen atom, forming a bond angle about 126 degree. Okay, that is about the dichromate and chromate ion. Now we are into the last important topic of this chapter, that is potassium permanganate. Here you are going to study about the preparation, properties and uses of potassium permanganate. Let us see. First is the preparation. Here there are 4 methods for the preparation of potassium permanganate. The first method is important for 3 marks. Please try to concentrate. Pyrolusite ore, that is MnO2, manganese dioxide, is finely powdered and it is fused with potassium hydroxide. Here you can see. So what we are going to do? So we are going to take MnO2, manganese dioxide, also known as pyrolusite ore. It is finely powdered and it is fused with what? It is fused with KOH, potassium hydroxide, in presence of air, that is in presence of oxygen, or you can use any strong oxidizing agent such as potassium nitrate. Potassium nitrate is one of these oxidizing agents. Either you can use oxygen or we can use NO3, which is an oxidizing agent. So then during which what happens? So this produces dark green colored potassium manganate. So here you can see 2 MnO2 plus 4 KOH plus O2 gives rise to 2 K2MnO4 plus 2H2O. Here 2 MnO2, this is 1 MnO2 and there is one more MnO2 plus 4 KOH. This is 1 KOH, another KOH, third one, and this is the fourth one in presence of oxygen. So here, how many hydrogen atoms are there? 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 4 hydrogen atoms are there here, and they are going to take away 2 oxygen atoms, forming 2H2O. Here 2 into 2, 4 hydrogen atoms. So taking 2 oxygen atoms, they are going to form 2H2O. Then what we are left with? Now we have lost all these 4 hydrogen atoms and this O2 also. Okay, so then now we are left with 4 oxygen atoms with 2 MnO2. So and 4 potassium atoms are also there. Okay, so here take E2 potassium atoms K2, okay, Mn, and add 2 oxygen atoms to each of the MnO2. So here you can see Mn is going to become MnO4. Then now again remaining K2 and one more MnO2 is there, add 2 oxygen atoms, then it is going to be Mn4. So thus there is a formation of 2K2 Mn4, which is called as potassium manganate. Here it is first. There is a formation of potassium manganate. So this is obtained by powdered pyrrolysite when it is fused with potassium hydroxide in presence of air or strong oxidizing agents such as potassium nitrate. Then this dark green colored potassium manganate on electrolytic oxidation gives potassium permanganate. Okay, so thus so obtained potassium manganate, it is subjected to electrolytic oxidation. So potassium manganate on electrolytic oxidation gives potassium permanganate. So here you can see, so we have taken only the anionic part, that is MnO4 2 minus, it is the manganate ion which on electrolytic oxidation, so gives what? It gives permanganate ion. So that leads to the formation of potassium permanganate. So this process is important for 3 marks. The second method, potassium permanganate can also be prepared by passing chlorine gas through manganate solution. Here, look at the reaction 2K2MnO4, that is manganate, potassium manganate. When it is made to react with the chlorine, it is going to form potassium permanganate. So the reaction is very simple. Here you can see K2 MnO4, one more K2 MnO4 plus Cl2 here. So 2 of the potassium atoms, they are going to take away 2 chlorine atoms, leading to the formation of 2 KCl, and then what we are left with here, 2 potassium atoms along with 2 MnO4. So this is KMnO4 and one more KMnO4. Next method is permanganate can also be prepared by disproportionation of manganate in neutral or acidic solution. So here I have taken the example of manganate ion undergoing a disproportionation in acidic solution. Here 4 H plus ions, they are from the acid. So here this leads to the formation of a permanganate ion along with the formation of manganese dioxide with the formation of water. Here manganese, it is undergoing simultaneous oxidation as well as the reduction reaction. Here you can see in MnO4 2 minus, the oxidation state of manganese, it is plus 6. When it gets converted into permanganate ion, its oxidation state, it is plus 7. Here you can see from plus 6 to plus 7, there is a clear increase in oxidation number. Here we can see manganese is undergoing oxidation. Whereas when there is a formation of MnO2, manganese dioxide, here its oxidation state, it is plus 4. Here from plus 6 to plus 4, it has got reduced. So that is why we say manganate ion in presence of an acid, it undergoes disproportionation reaction. leading to the formation of permanganate ion along with the formation of manganese dioxide and water. The last method is like this. In the laboratory, manganese 2 salt is oxidized by peroxo disulfate to give permanganate. Here you can see this S2O8 2 minus, it is the peroxo disulfate ion, which when made to react with the manganese 2 salt in presence of water, here it is going to form permanganate ion along with the formation of sulfate. Here SO4 2 minus is the sulfate ion and with the formation of 16 H plus ions. Manganese 2 salt, it is oxidized by peroxide disulfate to give permanganate along with the formation of the sulfate ion. This is about the preparative methods for the preparation of potassium permanganate. Then what are the properties of potassium permanganate? Let us see. It is a purple colored crystalline solid. I think you might have seen in the laboratory. It is sparingly soluble in water. Okay, it is not completely soluble. It is sparingly soluble in water. It shows temperature dependent weak paramagnetism. So it shows weak paramagnetism which is dependent on temperature. It decomposes when heated at 513 Kelvin. Yeah, so potassium permanganate, which when heated at 513 Kelvin, it undergoes dissociation into potassium manganate with the formation of manganese dioxide and with the liberation of oxygen gas. Here you can see. Here. This is 1 KMnO4 and this is one more KMnO4, okay, which when heated at 513 Kelvin. So here it goes like this. So this leads to the formation of K2MnO4, that is potassium manganate, and then now this MnO4 so will form MnO2 along with the liberation of dioxygen. So this is how it decomposes when it is heated at 513 Kelvin temperature. Potassium permanganate is a well-known oxidizing agent. So it behaves as oxidizing agent in all the three medium. That means in acid medium, in basic medium, as well as in neutral medium, it behaves as a very good oxidizing reagent. Now we shall see. In acid solution, it oxidizes iodide into iodine. It oxidizes iodide into iodine. Here you can see. So 10I minus is the iodide ion, which when made to react with the potassium permanganate. Here we have taken only the permanganate ion in presence of an acid. 16 H plus is from the acid. So here there are 16 H plus ions are there in 2 MnO4 minus 2 into 4. So there are 8 oxygen atoms are there. All the 8 oxygen atoms will be taken by 16 H plus ions to form 8 H2O. Here you can see 8 into 2, 16 hydrogen atoms are there with 8 oxygen atoms. So here they take away all the 8 oxygen atoms forming 8 H2O. Then here 10I minus is there. That means 10 iodide ions are there. They get oxidized into 5I2. Here manganese, it will get reduced from plus 7 to plus 2. Plus 7 to plus 2. So this is the reaction where permanganate ion oxidizes iodide into iodine. Here permanganate ion, it is also capable of oxidizing ferrous ion into ferric ion. Ferrous ion, it is green in color, whereas ferric ion, it is yellow in color. Now we shall see the reaction. Here you can see 8 H plus ions are there. Okay, so they take away the 4 oxygen atoms leading to the formation of 4 H2O. 8 H plus ion, here 4 into 2, 8 hydrogen atoms are there. So all the 8 hydrogen ions, they take away 4 oxygen atoms. This leads to the formation of 4 H2O. Then manganese, here again from plus 7 to plus 2 it will get reduced, and then here Fe2 plus ions, each of them they are going to lose one more electron in order to become Fe3 plus. So thus there is an oxidation of Fe2 plus ions into Fe3 plus ions. Here Fe2 plus ions they are green in color, whereas Fe3 plus ions they are yellow in color. Oxalate ion or oxalic acid is oxidized in presence of potassium permanganate at 333 Kelvin. So look at this reaction here. C2 here C2O42 minus, it is the oxalate ion which when made to react with the potassium permanganate in presence of an acid, it is going to form Mn2 plus. So here again it will get reduced from +7 to +2 and 16 hydrogen ions are there. They are going to take away all the 8. 2 into 4 is 8 oxygen atoms to form 8H2O, and then here 5 into 2 10 carbon atoms with the 5 into 4 20 oxygen atoms. So this leads to the formation of 10 this leads to the formation of 10 CO2. So this is how it converts oxalate ion into carbon dioxide. The fourth one is like this. Hydrogen sulfide is oxidized, sulfur being precipitated. So we have studied in the chapter redox reaction last year, addition of oxygen is called as a oxidation process, and also removal of hydrogen from a substance or from a compound, it is also called as oxidation. Here what we are going to do, we are going to remove the hydrogen atoms from the hydrogen sulfide. So here leading to the formation of sulfide ion. So when H2S is cleaved or it is made to undergo dissociation, it dissociates into 2H plus Es 2 minus. This sulfide now it is get converted into neutral sulfur. So here also 16 hydrogen ions are there. Again 8 oxygen atoms are available. This leads to the formation of 8H2O, and just like the previous reactions, here also Mn from +7 to +2 it is undergoing reduction reaction, and then here 5S2 minus will get converted into 5. So here this is neutral sulfur atom, so which will get precipitated. Sulfurous acid or sulfite is oxidized to sulfate or sulfuric acid. So here you can see, so SO3 2 minus, it may be either sulfide ion, okay, or it may be from sulfurous acid H2SO3. H2SO4 is sulfuric acid, H2SO3 is sulfurous acid. Okay, so here SO3 2 minus, when it is made to react with potassium permanganate in presence of an acid, here manganese, it undergoes reduction from +7 to +2. 6 hydrogen ions are there. They are going to take away here 2 into 4. There are 8 oxygen atoms available, out of which 6 hydrogen atoms they are going to take away only 3. So then 8 minus 3. So 5 oxygen atoms are available. Here I am going to write 8 minus 3. It is going to be 5. So 6 hydrogen ions, they are going to take away 3 oxygen atoms out of 8, leading to the formation of 3H2O. Now remaining 5 oxygen atoms are there. So here these 5 oxygen atoms are added to 5 sulfide ions. This leads to the formation of 5 sulfate ions. So thus there is a conversion of sulfide ion to sulfate ion, so by the process of oxidation by the action of potassium permanganate. Let's pass on to the next slide. The last reaction is nitrite is oxidized to nitrate. So here NO2 minus, it is the nitrite ion, not nitrate, this is nitrite ion. It will get converted into nitrate ion. So here 6 hydrogen ions are there, again 8 oxygen atoms are available. So this leads to the formation of 3H2O. Then we are left with again 5 oxygen atoms. All these 5 oxygen atoms will be added to the 5 nitrite ion. So this leads to the formation of 5NO3 minus. That is, there is the oxidation of nitrite to nitrate. So this can be achieved by using potassium permanganate, which is a well-known oxidizing agent. In neutral or faintly alkaline solutions, how it is going to behave. So now here you can see a notable reaction is the oxidation of iodide to iodate. Here, when potassium permanganate is made to react with iodide in presence of water, it is going to form manganese dioxide along with the formation of hydroxyl ions and with the formation of iodate. So here there is a oxidation of iodide ion into iodate takes place in presence of potassium permanganate. Second reaction, thiosulfate is almost oxidized quantitatively to sulfate. Here you can see in this reaction H2O3 minus, it is the thiosulfate ion. So it will get oxidized in presence of potassium permanganate and water, and it is going to form MnO2 manganese dioxide along with the formation of sulfate ion and with formation of hydroxyl ions. So here thiosulfate ion, it is getting oxidized into sulfate ion. Lastly, manganese salt is oxidized to manganese dioxide in presence of zinc sulfate or zinc oxide as catalyst in this oxidation process. So here you can see permanganate ion, it oxidizes a manganese salt. Okay, it may be manganese sulfate or manganese the chloride, like that. So any of the manganese salt. So when it is made to react with potassium permanganate in presence of water, it is going to form manganese dioxide along with the formation of hydrogen ions. So here Mn2 plus, it is going to get oxidized. Here you can see in MnO2. So what is its oxidation number? It is +4. From +2 to +4, its oxidation number is increasing. So here Mn2 plus, it is undergoing clearly oxidation, and which is due to the action of oxidizing agent used, which is potassium permanganate. Let's come to the last topic, that is about the uses of potassium permanganate. Potassium permanganate, it is used as a bleaching agent, especially in the bleaching of silk, cotton, etc. And it is also used to remove unwanted colors from the oils, or you can say it is used in the decolorization, that is removal of unwanted color of oils. And it is also used in analytical chemistry for the titration purpose. In this year, so you will have one experiment where you are going to use this potassium permanganate for the titration purpose. And lastly, it is used in organic synthesis. So with this, I'm completing the chapter D and F block elements. Thank you all.